to our event here in Canada, and we get to come here to Toronto at least once a year. Fond memories of it, and the team is right now in the room over there setting up. It's snowing out there, absolutely amazing. It's all good. And I want to make sure that regardless of where I am, doesn't matter Canada, doesn't matter anywhere in the US, want to make sure that we get these lives in, because I think it's important information for all of you to learn, to understand. And a common question that I get, a common question that gets asked about Neuro Linguistic Programming has everything to do with the idea of manipulation. So I want to have a deeper discussion on what that is. What does it mean? What does it entail? And what really is manipulation? Now, so I'm a doctor of integrative psychology, and one of the professors we were teaching, she was teaching an ethics class, incredible individual. I use her as an example all the time here at this training. And she was teaching the class, and she said, there are people that view psychology as being manipulation. And I sat there in the class and I went, well, I never even thought that way. But it's pretty trippy. Once I did become a doctor, I remember the very first time I introduced myself, and the person says, what do you do? I'm saying, well, I'm a doctor of psychology. And they're like, don't look at me, don't analyze me, don't ask me questions about my mom. And I'm like, oh my God, people really do have an interesting view on psychology. To be a doctor of psychology, you kind of get this weird look sometimes. And I always tell people, I'm not clinical. And if you're clinical psychology, awesome path. I'm like, I'm not clinical, I teach. I'm teaching, not academic, but general public to help them be more empowered. Well, so anyway, she gets up in front of the class and she looks out of the class and she goes, some people look at psychology as being manipulation. Now, those of you who follow me regularly, you may get this as a question. So I want to help you answer it when someone else says to you what you've learned, whether it's mindfulness-based techniques, whether it's positiveness, whether it's psychology, whether it's NLP, whatever it is. If someone ever says to you, well, you took that class, that's manipulation, I want to help you have an intelligent conversation. So she looked out of the room and she goes, what is manipulation? A whole bunch of hands went up. My hand went up. I didn't get called on. And what we did was we did a quick little consensus on a layman's view, a general public view description of what is manipulation. And the conclusion that we came to is it's someone attempting to get someone else to do something that they want them to do. So the person who's speaking is attempting to get someone to do something that may not necessarily be of their interest. I went, yeah, okay. She said, so manipulation is about intent. The person who's speaking has all the intent, and the person who's listening has zero. Okay, that's a fair definition. She goes, now define influence. Define influence. I remember my jaw opened a little bit. I knew exactly where she was going. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. And it's a really good explanation. My hand goes up. I didn't get called on, someone else did. And we came to the conclusion in the cohort, in the group of psychology majors that were in there, that influence is where someone's talking to you about something that you have an intention for. So if you're on this and you're watching this, your intention is to learn more about the mind, about communication. And the people that are showing up here for this NLP training here in Toronto, which I've been coming to Toronto now since 1999 was the first time I taught here solo. People show up and they want to learn more. So if I teach them NLP, like I'm going to begin doing tomorrow, if I teach them what they're here to learn, then that's me being influential. That's me being influential. But if all of a sudden I start talking about how to get better at gambling online, that's not what they're here for. Then that becomes manipulation. So she said it's all about intention. It's all about whose intention. Now, in an ideal situation, you have the same intention as the person who's listening to you, that you both have a shared intention. I want to teach NLP. I want to teach communication skills. The people that are showing up here tomorrow, they want to learn them. We both have the same intention. That's bonus. That's like icing on the cake, right? So what I do is I'm going to be teaching this not tomorrow, but the day after tomorrow. I'm actually going to talk with the group and go into a little bit more detail with them and be like, so if you want to be influential, which I think everyone does, we want to be more influential, you have to have a shared intention. You have to make sure that the person who's listening to you has the same intention that you have, because if they don't, you begin to borderline on manipulation. You got to be careful of that. That's what you have to realize. And if you open your mouth, regardless of what you've learned, you can either or influential and anything in between. I check in with my clients, I check in with my team members, I check in with my kids. Hey, who are you talking to right now? You want some help? As in, I'm Dr. Matt, or do you just want me to be here and vent? And if they're like, I want help, a shared intention, and everything you do at that point is going to be positive. Okay, I hope that helps. If you liked this, pass on to other people. This really helps out with the positive mindset. And check us out at NLP.com. That's easy for you to say. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's a ton of free information on there. And for those of you that I'm going to be seeing tomorrow here in Toronto, our other team is in Tampa. Our other team is in Tampa, Florida, and they're going to be seeing a wonderful group of individuals down there. We look forward to seeing you in the next 24 hours, okay? Aloha.